Hey, what's going on, Red Bull and Metro fans? Tommy C here, doing some Glory Hunter rants here, right here on the Glory Hunter channel. Lots of football content. Let's do some drama. That's what my background is, so let's do some drama. Emil Forsberg, a little bit of trouble. His wife said he ghosted him when he went to RB, New Jersey. You might have heard about it through Zealand, that he just ghosted his kids. Ghosted. That might not be true. Now, this is not a full-throated defense of Shoshana. I think that's his wife's name. I'm sure I butchered it. Or him. I'll let. Well, like I said, this is going to come off like a call out, but I think I understand why he kind of botched the story. It's completely reasonable. It's probably algorithmic. I'm an American expat from Germany. So when I do a news search on Emil Forsberg, I'm going to get more German articles. And I'll lay out what I have to criticize here. I'll let Zealand speak, and I'll show you where he may have maybe just missed something.
You've got kids and a wife, and you're just gone. You don't come back. You're not doing anything else. That's unbelievable, right? Like, are you with me now about how unbelievable this accusation is? And we're talking, this is not an irrelevant player in the third division somewhere. Not that you're irrelevant if you're in the third division, but this is Emil Forsberg. I knew who this guy was for years. I have known who this guy was for years. He's been to a World Cup quarterfinal. He's been playing in the Bundesliga. He's been playing against the best people in the world for a long time. Legit player, married for 19 years with multiple kids, which I didn't really know that until this story broke, but it's very relevant now. But he basically just left. Right, that's the way that it sounds like in this story. You know, it's on Goal where they pulled the full quote. That's why I wanted to read it from here. They said that he hadn't really responded to it. I've kind of looked for a response. I can't really find one.
Okay, there was a response, and like Zealand's narrative is this guy ghosted his wife. She put a statement out in March, and he's just like out of here. And this video was only about 7 days ago from this particular recording, and there has been no update since that I'm aware of. But I think I know what the thing is. He did respond. I got to be honest with you. It's not the best response on the planet. And it came in May. And here's what you got to do, Zealand. I'm going to give you some advice. You got to right click and translate to English. It works. It works. And then you'll find out that he did defend himself from these allegations. Now, her allegation was in March. He didn't respond until May. And I do think that's significant. If you're going to decide to judge him or her or the family or the situation, I mean, I do think that's a long time not to say I didn't do it, but he did. It is not true at all that I let my family down. Not at all. It is really sad that it came out like this. I think that's important. Since I have been here, I have been in contact with the children and the family. So he's outright denying that happened, and then now it becomes like a he said, she said type of situation. Like I said before, this thing started in March. Shoshana Forsberg, I'm sure I'm butchering her name. She came out with an Instagram message saying that he had in March, and that means he hadn't been in New York, New Jersey for all that long at that point, and said that he just left and ghosted. And later she went on to write sort of a letter to his now girlfriend, because it does kind of look like they're like, hey, let's meet in New York and elope type of thing, which, yeah, that could be what's going on. And she writes kind of a dramatic letter saying, I hope he doesn't leave you after 19 years after he left me. I think the reason, and Zealand's kind of shocked that the media's not picking up like this. I don't think too many people are buying her story, especially here in Germany. I think they see as going right to Instagram like this as trying to kind of smash or ruin or discredit or reputation destroy your partner. It is very, very reasonable to believe that he let her know that he was leaving her, went to New York, and then she came out and said, I had no idea he was leaving. Now, there's no evidence that happened, but it's completely reasonable. And take this for somebody who's gone through a divorce. Everybody's lying all the time. to get back at everybody, especially after 19 years. I can only imagine. My first marriage, I was only married about 3, and the mudsling went on for the next decade. So that kind of stuff can happen. And, Zealand said that, he hasn't been married before. He doesn't know the situation. He made that abundantly clear. And it to be honest with you, it kind of showed. Divorce is the worst, absolutely the worst. So if you want to take her word for it, fine. And you want to take a look at the lack of it took 2 months for him to respond and say, I didn't do it. That's kind of a red flag. But her going right to Instagram and making this a public thing, it is very possible that he went there as like, look, I don't want to make this a public thing. I don't want to drag this out in the media. He's a big, high-profile player, not just in the United States, but in Europe, especially in Europe. Let's keep this separation to ourselves. And then she sort of feigns ignorance about the whole situation and makes it seem she'd like be up and left the family. There's no way to tell who's telling the truth here. So, but all I can tell you is divorces are ugly. People don't go at them logically. They go to win. Yeah, they do. And, take this from somebody who, look, I should be mad at Emil Forsberg more than most. I decided to stay in Germany when I could have easily left after the Army sent me. But if I'd known, my ex just kind of split just before I was supposed to go back to the States. So I pulled some strings, and I was actually able to get a European out and become sort of a green card holder here in Germany so I could see my daughter. So if anybody should be mad, it should be me, because, I've seen a lot of soldiers come here and just kind of like dip on their family. And I've seen it happen. It's disgusting. I didn't do it. I sacrificed a lot to do it, pretty much my whole career. And so if anybody should be mad, it probably should be somebody like me who stuck it out, and this guy's a millionaire. That being said, I know how these things work. Doesn't mean she's lying. Doesn't mean he's lying. I just really wanted to put it out there because now I think the English-speaking world has this narrative that he hasn't even tried to attempt to defend himself, making him look a lot colder than he is. And, the defense, like, well, I wouldn't do that, is not a really good defense. But he does come out and say that I have been in contact with my family. So, things fall apart. Marriages fall apart. Is it right to leave your wife for another woman and your kids in Sweden? No. Things fall apart. They do. They do both ways. And it's very unfortunate, to say the least. But again, I wanted a counter narrative out there. Zealand said he couldn't find a response. I did, and I think there's an algorithmic reason for that. I get more German articles than he does. That's it. I think it was an honest mistake. So let's get back to business. Metro's got a big game coming up. And this is a tough time of year because Euros are going on here in Germany, and we're going to miss Lewis Morgan, and we're going to miss Emil Forsberg. Quite possibly. Maybe he'll check out his family while he's over here. It's not that far. I don't know. So we got some big games coming up. After a really, really great start, we have 2 losses. One that really irritated me, which was with NYCFC. And those Smurfs, they managed to beat us 2-1. Not a really good effort there. And Forsberg was actually, I don't think he came into last half after suffering from a flu bug. They won the next 2 games against Charlotte and Orlando, and then lost to another rival in the Revs. What's going on there? Now, they didn't have the full lineup for the Rev game, and which means a lot of pressure is going to fall on Dante Venzier, who had a great start after having a horrible season last season. Venzier, he's put 6 in the back of the net. He's going to have to step up really big. I'm very happy with the Red Bulls defense. I like the fact that the Niels brothers are paired up together, but it's going to be, we're almost going to have the problem, like the injection of goals that we got from Morgan and Forsberg. They're going to have to find a way to win without them. Absolutely, there's no other way around it. If we're going to get back in this race. Now, playoffs don't seem to be much of a concern, but I want a supporter shield. I don't think it's that out of the realm of possibility, but every loss puts us farther and farther away from the Inter Miamis, and then Real Salt Lake is just killing it out there in the West. They're probably the most dangerous team in the West right now. I want the Bulls to get back on track, and this month's going to be tough because our key players are playing in big tournaments. And that's just life. That's life. And when you have a summer season, that's life as an MLS fan. You lose your DPs, good players, to their countries in bigger tournaments. It's just something you have to deal with. I've heard about maybe they should stop the season like they do here in Europe. I don't see that being possible. Summer is for international tournaments and things of that nature. I think it's just something that when you take a coaching job in the MLS, you have to be prepared to lose your key players and deal with it. Good news is the Smurfs got stopped by Columbus last night. I'm glad they stopped their little winning streak. But my plan is, with the Red Bull stuff, I ran for two teams, Wehen Wiesbaden, my local, and then the team I think I went to their opening game in '96, and come to think of it, Tony Meola, the whole nine. So I'll be doing rants for them out in the summer, and we'll be covering basically the whole world of football here. Remember, this is a community project, and if you join our Discord, get to know us, you can be a creator right here on Glory Hunters. Find the glory. We're looking for all types of guys. We cover the entire world of football and individual rants. So I want you to check it out. I hope you appreciate the video. I'll be knocking out another video as soon as they play. I'm still keeping my eyes on Metro, even during the World Cup and all that distraction. And you can bet, well, not the World Cup, the Euros, sorry. You can bet that we'll be putting out videos on the drama that's unfolding here in Germany. Germany, of course, destroying Scotland last night as of the time of this recording. Scotland looked like a fourth league team. It was sad. I actually think they're better than that. I don't think it says much about Germany because that's how bad Scotland played. I really expected like a 2-1 loss, maybe a 3-1 loss, and taking it right to them. A miracle would have been a tie. That being said, I think Scotland underperformed. But we're not talking about Scotland. We're talking about Metro. We're talking about the Red Bulls. And I'll see you with the rant video. And I hope we clear things up a little bit for Zealand and just had a counter narrative out there. I think that's important when it comes to people's divorces and stuff, because you really can't trust anybody in that situation. Peace. See you later.